Modi co-chaired the 22nd India-Russia Annual Summit. Regional and global issues were discussed extensively during the summit. The summit was held in Moscow. Historic reopening of the Ratna Bhandar room of Sri Jagannath Temple. The room was opened after 46 years. The objective is to make a list of jewelry and precious items and repair the room. SDG India Index 2023-24 released. Uttarakhand and Kerala are top performers. This index was released by Niti Aayog. Zika virus cases confirmed in India. Scientists issued warning. Zika cases found in Maharashtra and Karnataka. CITES Rosewood's The Global Picture report released. The report highlights the challenges of Rosewoods. The report was released during the 27th Plants Committee meeting. Recently, the 22nd India-Russia Annual Summit was concluded in Moscow. This conference was attended by the Indian Prime Minister and the Russian President. During this, both the leaders discussed many things including strategic and economic issues. They also vowed to strengthen bilateral connectivity by promoting Russia-India trade and economic cooperation. Let us tell you that during the conference, both the countries have agreed to increase bilateral trade to $100 billion by 2030. It has also been decided to promote a bilateral transaction settlement system using national currencies. At the same time, it has been agreed to expand energy cooperation in nuclear, oil, and petrochemical sectors, including infrastructure and technology. Also, ideas have been shared on implementing projects like International North-South Transport Corridor, Northern Sea Route and Chennai-Vladivostok Eastern Sea Corridor. In such a situation, it is believed that cargo trade with India will increase through these projects. At the same time, both the countries emphasized on tackling terrorism in the conference. There has been a demand for early finalization and adoption of the Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism in the UN framework. Prime Minister Modi also shared the idea of Russia and Ukraine finding a peaceful solution to the Russia-Ukraine conflict through mutual dialogue and diplomacy. It is worth noting that the agreement has been reached on the maintenance of weapons and defense equipment of Russian origin under the Make in India program, in which joint manufacturing of spare parts, components, aggregates and other products will be promoted in India. Let us tell you that Indian Prime Minister was awarded Russia's highest civilian honor, Order of St. Andrew the Apostle at the summit. The announcement of giving this award to the Prime Minister was made in the year 2019. It was also announced to promote special and privileged strategic partnership between Russia and India and friendly relations between Russians and Indians. This award was started in the year 1698. Recently, the sacred Ratna Bhandar room of Sri Jagannath Temple was reopened after 46 years. The purpose of opening it is to make a list of jewelry and precious items and to repair the Ratna Bhandar. For this, the Odisha government has constituted a high-level committee under the leadership of retired Judge Vishwanath Rath. The Ratna Bhandar room has been opened under the supervision of the committee. Many types of precious items, jewelry, gems, etc. are stored in the Ratna Bhandar room. The Ratna Bhandar room is located at the northern end of the Jagmohan of the temple. It is noteworthy that Jagmohan is the assembly hall of the temple. It has two parts, the outer chamber and the inner chamber. In these chambers, the jewelry of the three deities of the temple, that is, Lord Balbhadra, Lord Jagannath, and Goddess Subhadra, are kept. Let us tell you that Sri Jagannath Temple is also called White Pagoda. This temple is in Puri, Odisha. This temple is dedicated to the Holy Trinity of Lord Jagannath, his sister Devi Subhadra, and elder brother Lord Balbhadra. It is worth mentioning that Lord Jagannath is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. It is believed that this temple was built in the 12th century by King Anantvarman Chodgangdev, the ruler of the Eastern Ganga dynasty. This temple is built in the Kalinga style of architecture. It is a sub-style of the Nagar style. The temple has mainly four main parts, which include Viman or Dyul, Jagmohan, Nat Mandap, and Bhog Mandap. The pictures of Lord Vishnu are engraved on both sides of the outer wall of the main temple. Let us inform you that Magji Laddu, one of the Chappan Bhog Prasad of Sri Jagannath Temple, has been given GI tag. Magji Laddu is a famous traditional sweet of Dhenkanal district of Odisha. Recently, the Supreme Court has declared that the Central Information Commission has the power to constitute benches and make rules. The Apex Court also said that the autonomy of the Central Information Commission is the most important for its effective functioning. After the judgment, the powers of the Chief Information Commissioner to prepare regulations related to the formation of benches of the Commission have been retained, as such powers are within the scope of Section 12, Subsection 4 of the RTI Act. Let us tell you that the Central Information Commission is a statutory body created by the Parliament of India. It has been created under the provisions of the Right to Information Act 2005. It is an independent body with ultimate power. It can investigate and resolve the registered complaints. It hears complaints and appeals about offices, financial institutions, public sector undertakings, etc., functioning under the central government and union territories. The Central Information Commission has one Chief Information Commissioner and a maximum of 10 Information Commissioners. They are appointed by the President on the recommendation of a selection committee. The committee includes the Prime Minister as the chairman, the Leader of Opposition in the Lok Sabha, and a Union Cabinet Minister nominated by the Prime Minister. The Chief Information Commissioner and other commissioners hold office for a term determined by the central government or till the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. Let us inform you that the Right to Information Act 2005 is an important legislation. It gives citizens the right to obtain information from any government departments and institutions. Its purpose is to ensure transparency and accountability in government functioning. Recently, the cases of Zika virus have been confirmed in the states of Maharashtra and Karnataka. Due to this, an alert has been declared in the states. Let us tell you that the Zika virus is a mosquito-borne virus. It was first identified in the year 1947 in the rhesus macaque monkey in Uganda. This virus usually spreads through the bite of an infected Aedes mosquito. The Aedes aegypti mosquito is mainly responsible for this, which also spreads dengue and chikungunya. These mosquitoes usually bite during the day. Its transmission also occurs through physical relationships from mother to fetus and through blood transfusions, etc. The World Health Organization believes that most people infected with the Zika virus do not develop symptoms. However, in those who develop symptoms, it starts appearing after 3 to 14 days. Its symptoms include rash, fever, pink eyes, muscle and joint pain and headache, which usually last from 2 to 7 days. Its infection can cause microcephaly and other congenital malformations in babies during pregnancy. It can also lead to premature birth and miscarriage. It is noteworthy that microcephaly is a condition in which the baby's head is smaller than normal for its age and the brain does not develop properly. Its infection is also associated with Guillain-Barré syndrome, neuropathy, and myelitis in adults and children. Guillain-Barré syndrome is a rare condition in which the person's immune system attacks the nerves. Let us tell you that according to WHO, there is no vaccine available yet for the prevention and treatment of Zika virus. The only treatment is that the infected person should take a lot of rest, consume fluids, and avoid mosquitoes. At the same time, its symptoms should be treated with antipyretics and analgesics. Recently, scientists started the scientific deep drilling mission in the Koyna-Warna region of Maharashtra. The objective of this mission is to dig boreholes up to a depth of 6 km in the Earth's crust to observe and analyze deeper parts of the Earth's crust. At the same time, it is to study earthquakes and gather information about the history of the Earth and the types of rock. Along with this, the other aspects of the mission are knowing about energy resources, climate change patterns, and the evolution of life on Earth and various life forms. India joined the list of countries that have started such projects. These countries include the United States of America, Russia, Germany, etc. Let us tell you that the region has witnessed recurrent earthquakes due to the load of water in Shivaji Sagar Lake. The lake was formed due to the construction of the Koyna Dam in 1962. This phenomenon is called reservoir-induced seismicity. That's why scientists chose the Koyna region for study. Koyna borehole work has been completed up to a depth of 3 km. This project is unique in many ways. Hybrid drilling technology has been used in it. This is a combination of mud rotary drilling and percussion drilling, that is air hammering. In a rotary drilling technique, a rotating drilling rod made of steel is used, which is connected to a diamond-studded drill bit at the front. The second technique, percussion drilling, pushes highly compressed air in place of the drilling mud through the drilling rod to deepen the borehole and flush the cuttings out. Let us inform you that Koyna borehole is being implemented by BGRL, that is Borehole Geophysical Research Laboratory. BGRL is a specialized institute under the Ministry of Earth Sciences which implements the scientific deep drilling program. Recently, CITES has released a report titled CITES Rosewood, the Global Picture. This report was released during the 27th meeting of the CITES Plants Committee held in Geneva. This report presents details of the characteristics of the rosewood species listed in CITES, their role in the ecosystem, and the challenges faced by them in species growth. It will help the CITES party countries to draw non-detriment findings based on available information. It is noteworthy that a non-detriment findings is a mandatory scientific analysis under CITES. It determines whether the export of a certain amount of species listed in Appendix 1 and 2 of CITES threatens their long-term existence in natural forest. Let us tell you that rosewood, that is shisham, is also called palisander. It is a tropical strong wood of the Fabaceae leguminosae family. It is used to make furniture and musical instruments. Rosewood is protected under Appendix 2 of CITES. Due to the presence of nitrogen, phosphorus, and carbon in the leaves of this species, it helps in increasing the fertility of the soil. It is noteworthy that 2 species of rosewood are found in India, that is Dalbergia latifolia and Dalbergia sisu. Both are listed as vulnerable and least concern respectively in the IUCN Red List. Let us inform you that CITES, that is Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. It is a legally binding international agreement between national governments. Its purpose is to ensure that the international trade of specimens of wild fauna and flora does not threaten their existence. This convention was implemented in 1975. It has 184 member nations including India. It has 3 appendices. Recently, a study has been published in the journal Nature Communications. This study shows that air pollution harms pollinators more than pests, whereas it does not affect the pests that destroy the crop. In such a situation, researchers believe that air pollution has a serious impact on bees and wasps and beneficial insects. Due to this, there has been a decrease in the smell-based communication of these organisms, which use chemical signals present in the air to locate flowers, find a mate, or chase prey. Let us tell you that the study focuses on the effects of air pollution on the behavior and biological factors of insects. This includes food, development, survival, reproduction, and the ability to locate food sources. Out of all these factors, the ability of insects to find food was most affected by air pollution. Due to the air pollutant ozone, the ability of beneficial insects to survive has decreased by about 34%. While nitrogen oxide has also had a negative effect on insects. Let us tell you that pollination is an essential part of plant reproduction, in which pollen grains are transferred from the male anther of a flower to the female stigma. This process occurs in two ways, which include self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination occurs when pollen grains fall on the stigma of the same flower. When the pollen grains of a flower fall on the stigma of another flower of the same plant, then it is called cross-pollination. This happens through air, water, insects, birds, or other organisms. Recently, Niti Aayog has released the 4th edition of SDG India Index 2023-24. This index is based on 113 indicators which measure and track the national progress of all states and union territories. These indicators are in line with the National Indicator Framework of the Union Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, which calculates the overall score for each state or union territory by adding their performance in 16 SDGs. They are given a score between 0 to 100. In these, a score of 100 means that the state or union territory has achieved the Sustainable Development Goals set for 2030. In this, the states have been divided into 4 parts: achievers, front-runners, performers, and aspirants based on their scores. Let us tell you that at the national level, India's overall score has increased, which has increased from 66 in 2020-21 to 71 in 2023-24. At the same time, between 2020-21 and 2023-24, significant progress was seen in Goal 1, that is poverty eradication, Goal 8, that is dignified work and economic growth, and Goal 13, that is climate action. These goals have now been included in the category of front runners. At the same time, the highest increase has been registered in the score of Goal 13, while it is immediately followed by Goal 1. However, the overall score of all the states has improved. While 32 states and union territories are included in the category of front runners, 4 states, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Jharkhand, and Bihar, are included in the category of performers. At the same time, the top states are Uttarakhand and Kerala. Each of them has a score of 79, while the top union territory is Chandigarh. It is noteworthy that government schemes like PM Awas Yojana, Swachh Bharat Mission, and Ayushman Bharat have played an important role in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Let us tell you that the first SDG, that is Sustainable Development Goals India Index and Dashboard, was released in 2018. It measures the progress of states and union territories. Recently, UNDESA has released the World Population Prospects 2024 report. This report talks about the population trends for countries around the world. According to this report, the global population will continue to increase during the next 50 to 60 years. At the same time, the report shows that the world population will be at its peak of 10.3 billion by 2080. Whereas in 2024, the world population is more than 8.2 billion. However, after reaching the peak, the global population is expected to decline gradually, which will decrease to around 10.2 billion by the end of the century, that is, by the year 2100. It is noteworthy that according to the report, India's population is estimated to be around 1.45 billion in 2024. While it is estimated to increase to 1.69 billion in 2054. The report believes that by the end of the century in 2100, India's population will decrease to 1.5 billion. India has become the most populous country in the world in the year 2023 by surpassing China. Let us tell you that UNDESA, that is United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, is a major department of the United Nations. It was established according to the United Nations Charter. Its headquarters is in New York. This organization works closely with governments and stakeholders to help countries to meet their economic, social, and environmental goals. With all the top news we have covered in this bulletin, let's now focus on 5 questions based on all the news covered so far. Questions based on today's bulletin are: first question is, consider the following statements regarding the Order of St. Andrew the Apostle. 1. It is the highest civilian award of the United States of America. 2. It was started in 1698. 3. Recently this award has been given to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. How many of the above statements is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none of these? Next question, consider the following statements about SDG India Index 2023-24. 1. It has been released by UNDP. 2. India's total SDG score is 71 for 2023-24. 3. Uttarakhand and Kerala are top performers in this index. How many of the above statement or statements is or are incorrect? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none of these? Next question, consider the following statements regarding Zika virus. 1. It is a mosquito-borne virus. 2. It was first identified in 1947 in a rhesus macaque monkey in Uganda. 3. The Aedes aegypti mosquito is the main vector of this virus. How many of the above statements is or are incorrect? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none of these? Next question, consider the following statements with reference to Puri Jagannath Temple. 1. This temple is in Puri, Odisha. 2. It is also known as the Red Pagoda. 3. It was built by King Anantvarman Chodgangdev, the ruler of the Eastern Ganga dynasty. How many of the above statements is or are incorrect? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none of these? Last question, consider the following statements with reference to CITES. 1. It is a legally binding international agreement between national governments. 2. The convention came into force in 1973. 3. India is not a party to it. How many of the above statements is or are incorrect? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none of these? Recently, the 96th Foundation and Technology Day of Indian Council of Agricultural Research was celebrated. Let us tell you that ICAR was established under the Societies Registration Act 1860. It was established after the report of the Royal Commission on Agriculture. Its objective is to do research in horticulture, fisheries, and animal science across India. Also coordinate and manage research and education in the agricultural sector. It is an autonomous organization under the Department of Agricultural Research and Education of the Union Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare. Its headquarters is in New Delhi. Recently, the Indian Air Force participated in exercise Pitch Black 2024. The exercise was held in Australia. It will run from 12th July till 2nd August 2024. It is a biennial multinational air exercise organized by the Royal Australian Air Force. The name of this exercise, Pitch Black, is based on flying at night over a large unpopulated area. This edition is slated to be the largest in the 43-year-long history of exercise Pitch Black, which includes participation by 20 countries with over 140 aircraft and 4,400 military personnel of various air forces. The exercise focuses on combat activities involving large-scale military deployment aimed at promoting international cooperation. Recently, Ivory Coast became the first country to give malaria vaccines to children under the age of 2. During this, children in Ivory Coast were given the new vaccine R21-Matrix-M, which is the second malaria vaccine recommended by WHO in 2023, while the first vaccine was RTS-AS01. The new vaccine has been jointly developed by the Serum Institute of India and the University of Oxford. This vaccine targets Plasmodium sporozoite. Sporozoite is the first form of malaria parasite to enter the human body. Let us tell you that malaria is a fatal disease which spreads in humans due to the Plasmodium parasite. It is spread by the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquitoes. Recently, Asia's first health research-related pre-clinical network facility center has been inaugurated in Faridabad, Haryana. This facility has been started under the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations. At the same time, the genetically defined human-associated microbial culture collection facility center has also been inaugurated. Let us tell you that the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations was started in the year 2017. It was jointly launched by Norway, India, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and World Economic Forum. Its purpose is to accelerate the development of vaccines against new infectious diseases and at the same time to provide equal access to these vaccines. Its headquarters is located in Oslo. Recently, Nelson Mandela International Day 2024 was celebrated. This year's theme is Fighting Poverty and Inequality is Still in Our Hands. The day is celebrated on 18th July every year. It is celebrated to remember Nelson Mandela's lifelong struggles and contributions to ensure social justice. This day inspires people to spend 67 minutes of their life to do social work. The number 67 symbolizes the 67 years of struggle and time spent in the service of humanity by Nelson Mandela. Let us tell you that Nelson Mandela was born on 18th July 1918 in South Africa. He was a prominent freedom fighter who fought against apartheid. At the same time, he also became the first black president of South Africa. Recently, the Ministry of Education has launched 3 historic initiatives. These are Asmita Multilingual Dictionary and Real-Time Translation Architecture. They aim to promote the pace of learning Indian languages and empower learners in their academic work. These initiatives are in line with the new Education Policy 2020. Among these, Asmita, that is enhancing study material in Indian languages through translation and academic writing, is an ambitious project. Its objective is to provide high-quality study material to students in their native languages. Under this, 22,000 books will be prepared in 22 scheduled languages in the next 5 years. Its implementation is being done by UGC and Indian Language Committee. The Multilingual Dictionary will be a comprehensive multilingual dictionary repository, and the purpose of the real-time translation structure is to translate with state-of-the-art technology. Recently, Bihar government has demanded a minimum support price for makhana, that is foxnut. Let us tell you that makhana is a tropical and subtropical aquatic crop, which is usually cultivated in perennial water bodies like ponds, puddles, oxbow lakes, etc. A favorable temperature of 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, an annual rainfall of 100 to 250 cm, and a relative humidity of 50 to 90% is required to grow this crop. It is noteworthy that India is the largest producer of makhana in the world. Most of the makhana is produced in Bihar. It has low fat content but is rich in carbohydrates, protein, and minerals. Recently, cases of Chandipura virus infection were seen in Gujarat. Let us tell you that Chandipura virus causes fever whose symptoms are like flu, and it can also cause encephalitis. It can also cause serious illness like brain swelling. Its pathogen is a member of the vesiculovirus genus of the Rhabdoviridae family. It is usually spread by vectors like mosquitoes, ticks, and sandflies. This virus was first identified in 1965 in Chandipura village of Maharashtra. This virus mainly infects children aged between 9 months to 14 years. Recently, Indore has created a world record by planting 11 lakh saplings in a day. The event has been registered in the Guinness World Record in the category of planting the maximum number of trees. However, Assam had made this record earlier. It is noteworthy that this program was organized by the state government. Let us tell you that Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently started the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam campaign on World Environment Day, that is 5th June. Under this campaign, a target has been set to plant about 140 crore trees across the country, with 5.5 million in Madhya Pradesh. For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.